Hey guys, this is Karrot from Stacks Gaming. So, I forgot to post the match for Nisekoi a while back because I didn't really do it. I got ended up with schoolwork, so I decided to post another deck tech of my cameraman Joe the Humps Crump's Railgun deck, and then have it beat the shit out of me on YouTube because the matchup's horrible for Nisekoi. And you'll probably get to see it, and you'll probably get to see me get wasted on channel. So let's get started. Also, this may or may not be the last video for Wise because I don't know if I'm gonna get fired after showing Hal this video. Alright.
Alrighty.
Let's get started.
Alrighty, fellas. I'm sure we all know something about Weiss. If not, hell, this is probably the wrong place to start. But, first card, I'll be starting with the early game. So the first card that I'll be showing is the level 0 game plan. That is the runner. Free runners are a staple part of the game for most sets that have them. Most decks like to keep runners because they basically guarantee attackers, and Railgun is no different. The 2000 power free runner with no extra text on it has always been a powerful card in Railgun because it guarantees I'm going to have stock, I'm going to get attackers, I'm going to stay away from your bombs and from your bigger level 0s, and I can stonewall your weak utility level 0s. Sure, there are counters to them, but generally speaking, they're very strong cards and are automatic 4-0s basically because you need to see them.
Yeah.
And the other automatic 4-0 is the Uehara Brainstorm. This Brainstorm from the power-up set is one of the most pushed cards from the power-up set. It's a self-tapping Brainstorm, which are always very powerful because you can use multiple of them in one turn or use them with other self-tapping effects. Generally, a very good tool to have access to, being able to tap just itself, middle the 4 cards, maybe plus. And on top of that, you have the added effect when you play a Climax. Choose any of your characters, give 500 power in the level. The level usually isn't the biggest deal, but if your opponent tries to stonewall your board with bombs, not knowing you can do this, you basically just get to free minus them. Any deck
set. Does that mean this deck sucked before, Joe?
Oh, yeah, basically.
Hell yeah.
Railgun's had a pretty varied history. When Rail decks as a set first came out, it was kind of mediocre. And then with the Index 2 set, Railgun became very powerful. The Esper archetype, rather, became very powerful thanks to a level 3 and as well as a fairly solid level 0 in one game plan that isn't really played today. But
for obvious reasons.
Yeah. But
it's called power creep, kids.
Yep. Power creep with push brainstorms is nice.
But at least it's better than Vanguard.
Probably. At least you can play old sets.
Yeah.
Next level 0 is the Eri. Eri's been a card that's been very strong for the set ever since it came out. When it gets reversed, pay a stock, discard a card from hand, shove it into the memory, so yay, free compression after the second refresh, or if you paid out a Climax. And search your deck for any Esper character. Everything in the deck has the Esper trait, besides from the girl with the long black hair, Satin, which most cards can target her as well, including the Brainstorm, which gets either Espers or Satins.
Uehara's good, kids. That's all we know. That's what we should know. That's what we learned to Railgun.
Probably. But yeah, it's a great utility card. It's a great way of searching out your game plan, getting cards into the drop. And then also for all the 1-of level 0s. Railgun Mikoto Brainstormer. Yeah. Railgun Mikoto Brainstormer is great. It's a very unique card that sort of sets the deck apart from other sets in that it has a way of breaking level 1 bombs. It's level 1 boards. Its effect is it's a brainstorm that you can spam, so it doesn't rest itself or anything else. So it just costs the 1 stock, you mill 4. For every Climax that you hit, you kill a cost 0 character. An effect that I don't think many sets have, and it's something that lets you really have these, randomly good matchups just because the deck is just sitting there going, I'm going to sit on costless characters and build up stock, and then you go, no. And then you swing it for free on them.
Yeah, so only Synfigure is the only other set that actually has a brainstorm like that.
Oh, nice. I only play one of the bombs just because I fit in room for other stuff. The other effect on the level 0 bomb is that if I check a Climax, I can give a character 1k. This one is 1k. The other one is 2k. Yeah, this one's 1k. There's another card that gives 2k. Yeah, it gives 1,000 power. You could just randomly get over stuff with it, and otherwise just a bomb.
And Joe's really good at triggering Climax, kids.
Yes, for some reason. Last card I play at 1 at level 0 is it's kind of a tech card, but it's sort of nice. On attack, give a character 1,000 power in the level. For the same reason as the Brainstorm, the level doesn't really matter too much in most cases. and the extra power can be quite nice. And because it's on attack, it has synergy with level 1 combo you'll see later.
Alright.
And the last level 0, and the reason why I saved it for last is because it's relevant throughout pretty much every stage of the game, is a super push card from the power-up set.
I'm getting fired.
Yep, it's Super Jail Kuroko. On play, it has a mandatory effect to reveal the top card of my deck. If it's a character with Esper trait or Salt in a name, it comes to my hand and I have to discard a card. That's all mandatory. If I play it from hand onto the field, I have to do that. And the other effect, which will become relevant in a second, is when I play a Climax, I can bounce it to my hand from the field, letting me reuse the effect later, and I can give a character 2,000 power. So this deck is exceptional at breaking walls and just getting nice big power swings. I'll leave her there because, 1, we gotta send Grant to jail, and 2, it's going to be relevant.
No, I get fired, and then go to jail.
Yeah, you only get fired because Chris Hansen comes after you. Now, the level 1 game, the mid-game all starts at level 1. Pretty much every deck plays a level 1 combo.
Oh, another card I'm going to fire for, fuck.
Yeah, so the Swimsuit Mikoto, bam! It's basically a vanilla, as long as I have a board. It's 4/5, but it's a 5/5. It's like 2 or more characters. That's it's 2 or more other characters. Like it's gonna be a 5/5. It's a vanilla. And when I play this Stock Soul,
oh god,
stop! Man, Super Jail, we going in, fam. When I play the Stock Soul Climax, this particular one, and this is the whole thing that's hilarious with this set, is activates a million effects at one time, including the Brainstorm, including this. When I play the Climax down, if I have 5 or less stock, so I can resolve it before resolving the Stock Soul, I can res one of my... I can effectively res a costless Esper character. I just take it from the drop, slap it on board. It has a 0 cost. And the great synergy is that with this Kuroko, I fill the board with I fill up like 2 slots with the Kuroko, 2 slots in front row with the Mikoto, filter out my cards, help set up my drop, and then slam the Stock Soul down, bounce the Mikoto's back, bounce the Kuroko's back, pump up my Mikotos, get over the opponent's board.
And make me go to jail.
And yeah, then someone goes to jail. Probably me for playing the deck.
And me for actually deciding to film this.
Yeah, really. What's wrong with you, bro?
Maybe Hal too for like actually having the channel host this. I hope not, because he needs to stay alive for this channel to grow.
Yeah. At level 1, we also play another card from the power-up set, because the whole deck's from the power-up set.
Thank God.
Yeah. This is another Mikoto. It's effectively a 6/5. It's 5/5, and it gains 500 power for each card in the opponent's back row. So if your opponent doesn't want to play a back row, they don't get whatever utility effects they want throughout the game, and it's vanilla. The other effect is a straight downside. If she gets reversed, I can't use Encore for the turn. No hand Encore, no clock Encore, no rule Encore of hard pay 3.
No cake Encore.
Yeah. Just can't Encore, but it's a 6/5 body effectively in most cases. Basically, I play 3 of it because I need the body in some cases. Certain matchups, you just want to have it on field, stick around.
Fair enough.
Obviously, cards you play it for are because they're broken as fuck. They're basically your game plan.
Well, I wouldn't say broken, but like they're really damn good.
They're damn good. They're things that you want to play a lot of. The other 3 of level 1 is it's basically a card that copied the infamous Old Man effect from Shauna, which is when one of my characters gets reversed, another one of my characters gains 1/5 power. Basically, this stops the opponent from being able to kill the entire board. They can kill 2 characters, but they'll never kill all 3 effectively, unless they've got a huge power.
I would even argue they wouldn't kill more than 2 if you have the backup.
Oh yeah, and then if you have a backup, it stops that. Going from any further, and the other effect is I pay 2 stock and tap it, which hey, synergy, 2 cards in the same power-up set that have self-tap effects and go in the back row. Holy crap! Salvage any Esper or something. Actually, no, it's any character, because Mikoto actually likes Toma, so she can get Toma. And the last level 1s I play are one-ofs.
Fuck, I'm going to jail. Actually, no, she's fine, actually.
Well, she's 16.
Yeah.
These are both sort of techie in some way or another. If another of my characters attacks, she gains 1,000 power. So she effectively goes up to 7,000 power at base if she attacks last. She's an assassin. She can hit some nice numbers. That extra 500 that she has over this can sometimes matter. And if my opponent doesn't have a back row, or if they just chose not to play it, or they couldn't get it, she can get over walls. She can get over big cards. Force backups. It's nice. And then the green, the Kanori, which this doesn't care about color. So if I only have red, this can still get rezzed. The Kanori, if I have 2 more Espers, which I will because of this, on field and she reverses the opponent's character, I can blind stock 1. Take the top card of my deck, shove it into my stock without us looking at it. It just builds you free stock. And you only play one of it because you don't ever want more than one of it on the board. And with the Brainstorm, with the Karrot, with whatever else
with the old man, twin girls.
Yeah. You have a lot of, and well, you can fill the drop, and then she can res it back. It's just great. It helps you fuel your late game, your mid game. Free stock. It's probably clean. If it's not clean, you cry a little bit. But going into the mid game.
Oh god, I hate this card. I used to hate this card. Now I understand.
I love this card. This is another card from the power up set that's super push, and is part of the reason why we have to play 4 of this. And it's part of the reason why this bounces itself. It is a level 3, and I'm playing at level 2, because if this is in my clock, so I have to hold this to clock it when it's at level 2, this loses a level in hand, so it comes down at level 2. It's an advanced summon. Every set basically plays one. And in this case, it's quite powerful. It has what's known as a damage scry effect, so if I take damage and it doesn't get canceled, check top card of my deck, either leave it or mill it, and if I have multiples on board, multiple will trigger at the same time. And then the thing that really makes her quite spicy, quite wonderful,
is her Climax combo.
She combos with a 2K1 of all things. And, well, she combos with Railgun. Railgun has been printed technically printed 4 times with 3 different types. It's been printed as a 2K1 twice, 2 different artworks. I chose this one because I like this one. A door, which you would think would be the normal because doors tend to be very powerful climaxes. People tend to like them. 1K1s are great. And a 2-soul, which that's only for dank memesters, and I'm not that dank, my friends.
No, you are. It's just that you actually have a brain.
Well, kind of. Probably. Well, the reason why I play 2K1 is because her climax combo is when I play the climax, discard a card, then kill one card in my opponent's front row. So, front row removal, so I don't need the extra soul. So I get that extra soul in from removing problem cards in my opponent's front row. However, I can't target a hexproof card, obviously. So something like the 3-2 Shinobu that Monogatari changes into, can't get rid of it. I have to power over. Which I kind of can, actually, which is pretty sweet. Yeah. But the other part of the effect is that after I kill a front row card, reveal the top of my deck. If it's an Esper character or... Actually, yes, as long as it's a character, I think. Basically, anything in the deck will trigger it. I choose one card in my opponent's back row.
That's level 2 or lower.
Yes, level 2 or lower.
You can't kill Shiroe.
Yeah, I can't kill Shiroe. I can't kill Lucia.
Can't kill Navi.
Yeah, I can't kill the Futaba 3-2. But I can kill most relevant back row. Anything that's going to come down at level 2 other than Lucia, I can kill. I can disrupt my opponent's game plan. If my opponent doesn't really get much out of their back row, and they've invested the cards in there, and then suddenly I get rid of them, they're not getting anything out of it. And in a way, this, as well as the 6-5 Mikoto, the effectively 6-5 Mikoto, sort of basically tells my opponent, don't play a back row, which a lot of sets are going to say fuck it and do it anyway, because they need their back row effects. And I can get rid of them. I can be really rude. It's a great card, you can stay on board. And the last 2 cards I really play at level in the mid game, it's a level assist, and when I trigger climax, gives something 2,000 power. Like I said, I'm great at triggering climaxes, so I get free power. Yay!
Yeah. Memes. It's also a good card in general.
But as you see, all the climaxes are 2 souls, so having something happen when they trigger them is pretty nice.
Oh, assuming this match gets some dank memes, I'll be sure to roast you for it eventually.
But level assists are nice, especially because I can pump levels off of this Suiharu and this Suiharu. So just being able to give things levels is nice. Also, generally speaking, the 2K1 is great in the early game as well because of this Kuroko, and lets me get over a lot of very strong boards at level 0. So, if I'm playing something like Persona 5 that has the 4K level 1 Yusuke, or just chilling there, being a jerk, I'm like, yo, get over yourself, bro.
Basically.
Yeah. So the level 2 game is actually quite potent in this deck. You just slap this
down.
It's
really good. I honestly think Railgun's good at every level except maybe 3, but even then, 3's serviceable.
Yeah, and
we'll get to that. Very soon.
Last mid game card is a counter. It's a 1K counter that gains 1,000. That gives an additional 500 power times my own level. It scales with the game. It starts as a vanilla 1/5. Then at level 2, it becomes a 2K counter for the advanced summon. Then at level 3, it's a free 2/5 counter, which is not bad.
Really nice.
Not bad. I only play 2 of it because just get 1, protect something. It's not that big of a deal.
Yeah.
But
it's still nice to have. Yeah. And then now Joe's endgame.
Now for the fairly lackluster endgame, Misakuro and the power-up set Satsun, because, everything's from power-up set. Power-up set. The Misakuro is something that used to be actually restricted to 2, because it was one of the things that made Railgun quite dominant back when it was a dominant deck. Although now it's quite outdated, and a lot of part of its effects definitely show that. It's on play, it's a heal, which is nice in a deck that has a pretty good time compressing, what with the stock soul as well as the Kanori. That lets me just stop building stock, and I mean most of the deck plays costless except for advantage cards until level 2, which is very nice.
Yeah. Even then, Railgun works as crush deck either way. But yeah, anyways, go on.
Generally speaking, it's just very good at compressing, getting a lot of stock, maintaining a fairly solid hand. 2K1s are good at keeping hands, even when I'm discarding them to kill my opponent's stuff.
Essentially.
Yeah. And so it comes in play, it heals, and then on attack, with no climax combo or anything, which is why I don't have to worry about climaxes beyond the level 1 and the level 2 for the advanced summon. Pay 1 stock, discard 1 card, it gains 2,000 power, and on reverse, burn 1. Now, that's a lot of stuff that basically shows how dated the card is. Paying for the cost up front for a simple burn 1, just for it to be discounted by 1 stock, is really nothing great. And, I mean, it has to reverse, so the opponent can anti-damage to get around it. And they can actually just get over it. I mean, a lot of times, if I really am dedicated, I can get it to the point where they have to sack counter. But that's the other thing. They can just sack their character with a sack counter.
Although, unless you're re-0, like, that really is just hurting them in the long run, honestly.
Well, if you're re-0 or you're index, you have a way of getting around it fairly cheaply.
Yeah.
And the last card that's particularly important for the endgame is the Satan Resander from the Power-Up set. Which, it's a fairly costly Resander. It's 2 stock, it's 2 cards.
You have to rest the character.
Yeah, and I have to rest the character. All of that merely makes it so that I'm only playing 2 just because I kind of just want to see 1. I have double fielded this. It's not that great, even when double fielded, even though you're getting a whole extra attack. For the most part, you want to see the endgame basically be populated by this, and probably one of these are still sticking around, and then the one of... It's nothing too important.
Or your other cards that you're about to show, the last 2 cards in your deck.
Or, yeah, I'll show off the last couple cards. Again, the endgame isn't particularly spectacular in this set, but it's serviceable.
Mid-game is already dominant. Yeah. Mid-game is dominated.
You dominate your opponent in the mid-game. That's how Railgun plays. And the last couple cards I'll show are a couple texts that I've chosen.
Fuck me. Oh my god. Stop!
The set has a lot of swimsuit artwork. I don't know why. But
and you had to put it in your deck. You had to.
Blame Booster for making it good. But this isn't a 3/2 Satan that really doesn't do much. Like, literally none of its effects matter except for the on-play effect, which is pay an additional stock, effectively making it a 3/3, to stop my opponent from playing events until my next turn. This is extremely obnoxious against anti-damage and rest counters. Basically saying the opponent can't actively interact with my board, and helps to alleviate Misakuro's big problem with anti-damage counters.
Yeah.
Which is a blessing. And again, I play 1 of it because I don't really need to play more of it. I just want to have access to it when I need it.
Yeah.
If I'm playing something that's never going to do any sort of obnoxious events, will stock it if I get it. If I trigger it in stock, I'm just going to leave it. I'll clock it to draw cards in the early game. I'll just get rid of it. I don't need it. If I'm playing something like Tulovru, yeah, come down. And this is my spicy little promo tech. This is my little baby card. It's a 1045.
God, now the flip is going to go after you.
It's a 1045. This is pretty crap. But pay 2 stock and tap it, burn my opponent for 1. This is hilarious.
You tap it to burn 1? God, dude, that's...
Pay 2, tap, burn 1.
That's lewd.
Yeah, it's pretty rude. I just wish I could recur it on my own turn. I can't. I wish I could. It'd be hilarious. But just that extra burn is so nice, especially when the rest of the endgame is sort of mediocre. Like, this is typically all I'm doing in the endgame is setting up pretty much 1 of these, and then 1 or 2 of these, and then maybe that. But having the ability just to play her down over just any backer slot I don't need, just got that extra burn, helps with sometimes it's a free damage.
Alright.
2 stock. It's just a great card to have as a little tech, and it's something that I've definitely gotten a lot of use out of.
Alright, guys. So I really hope that you enjoyed this deck profile. It was really well thought out, and it's a better deck than Nisekoi, so yay for relevant decks. And stay tuned to watch me get freaking wrecked, because I'm pretty sure that's going to happen. Peace, and I really hope I don't get fired. Or caught by the FBI. Peace, kids.